Welcome back to RASSVET for episode 13 with me, MrSealyp. It's 2:17 in the afternoon and I have got some work to do. We've got all of our test plots to harvest and get some results. I need to get the cotton sorted out. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but we'll try our best. Those are my two aims for today. That's what I'm going to try and get done. I'm going to sell both these trailers and get two new ones which should have a larger capacity. I want to start off by, well, firstly, my condolences to Joe. Joe, if you are watching this, I'm sorry to hear that. I can't imagine what that must be like, honestly. So condolences, Joe. Secondly, moving on to a slightly happier note, thank you to Kevin/Felden, Jack, Stephen, David and Ross. You are incredibly generous, incredibly kind. Thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate it. All will become a little bit clearer as I move on through this episode. I've got all sorts of stuff to talk about and discuss while I get the jobs done. And while I'm saying that, I'm not getting any jobs done, am I? So that's not really very good. What I'm going to do is disconnect the rear trailer. Oh, it's these pesky ones, isn't it? You know what I might do? Because I haven't got a front attacher on this, have I? I might just sell them. I don't think I'm going to get this in here and back out again. This other door doesn't open, does it? Or does it? No. Okay. I know people are just going to want to see me mess this up and spend ages. And I know that there's always those people, oh, they're really easy to reverse. And with practice they are. And sometimes I get it absolutely right. I just nail it. Other times it's an absolute nightmare. These are not my favourite trailers. Although, not these specifically, the swivel axle trailers, although maybe today is that day. Even the sun shines on a dog's behind some days. Like I say, maybe today is that day. You know what? I'll take that. The next one probably won't be as pretty, but I'll take that. So yeah, the cotton situation. I have managed to source... Okay, that's not too bad. I've managed to source some equipment. It's not new. It's actually South American. We kind of talked about this before, about the kind of link between some South American countries and communism, Fidel Castro, that kind of thing. It's not unusual to find Russian and Soviet era machinery in Southern American countries, and oddly often Southern American machinery in Soviet countries. But you know, that aside, we'll give it a go. If you haven't seen the piece of equipment, and now I'll be honest, I can't remember how to use it. So that's going to be fun and games. So I might have to have a bit of fiddle around. That's if we even get onto it. I need to get all the stuff done first. It does mean as well, if I can get the cotton off that field, then we can get onto that cotton contract. Now, while I'm doing this, if you don't watch my... Oh, see, the first one went perfectly. Isn't it weird that I'm in a straighter position this time and can't seem to get the trailer to go in? There we go. Now straighten up. There we go. But yeah, if you don't watch my Lucas Island Let's Play, if that's not your cup of tea, if it's not floating your boat, then if you're watching this one, or you just watch my mod reviews, if you do, you're probably not watching this. I did talk yesterday about the fact that from tomorrow... No. Why would the tractor's all the way out there? Maybe I didn't have to take it all the way in. Maybe the trigger comes a lot further out. Yeah, from tomorrow I'm going to be away for a week. And when I say away for a week, I'm going to be away for a week. This will be the first week away, complete week away, without recording videos, making mod reviews or anything in about 4 years. I've gone away for a couple of weekends here and there, but even then I often take my PlayStation. Now, I did say as well, I am taking my PlayStation, but it is staying boxed up, it's staying away It will only be taken out for one very specific reason. If that reason happens, you will see a video next week, but only one. If you don't, that's because it didn't happen. Cryptic, I know, but that's just the way it needs to be at the moment, because I can't divulge what is potentially happening. So yeah, I did mention yesterday that, and I'm going to mention it again now, the most helpful thing that anybody can do for me, because as it stands at the moment, because this is now technically, this is my job. I'm self-employed, and like anybody else self-employed, if you take a week off, it's a week off. If you're away, you're not working. If you're not working, you're not earning money. You know, it's one of those times where you get a little bit stressed because it's a big thing. I want 2 of those. We now have the 2. Yeah, so yeah, as you can imagine, MrSealyp will tell you, I'm a little bit stressed, to say the least. But what you can do that will really, really help is like my videos. I mean, like, you know, a lot of people, I'm as guilty of it. I watch loads of different YouTubers and Calder Cool and Star and all these different people, and they're always saying, you know, put Tom Pemberton, you know, just smash the like button, and oh, Silly G says it too. And you watch videos and you don't, and you go and think, oh, I should have liked that. And I tend to go back, and if you can like my videos, that helps with the algorithms. But also, if there's any Let's Plays, any series, any map tours, any stuff of mine from the past that you haven't watched, it would mean a lot to me and the channel if you wouldn't mind next week while I'm away going and watching, even if it's a Let's Play you've watched before, and think, you know, actually I fancy watching that again. That would be superb. That would really, really help. So my capacities have increased hugely now. That's good. We're going to get down to the field. I'm going to get the harvester down, and let's get these test plots done. Yeah, so next week, nothing. And I won't be responding to comments. Not necessarily comments. Comment on videos is absolutely fine. I've no problem with that. And if I can catch up with those, I will at some point. But it's the kind of requests and assistance. I get a lot of messages, and I've said before, I've no problem. You know, any of you that have sent messages, sometimes they slip through the cracks, sometimes they go into my spam boxes, sometimes I just can't help it. You know, sometimes I get a message and honestly I'm either not quite sure what's being asked, or I just don't know how to answer the question. I don't know what the answer is, but I try as often as I can, as much as I can, to help out if people ask me a question. I won't be responding to any direct messages, so anything on Twitter, Facebook Messenger, anything like that, I'm going to try and have a kind of, I know people are referring to them as mental health, not a mental health break. That sounds like you're going to have a bit of a, you know, bit of a breakdown potentially. I will be back in a week. Normal service will resume. When I say normal service, you know, I need to up my game, because I know a lot of people are getting cross at the regularity. Is that the right word? Of my Let's Play videos, that kind of thing. And all I can say is, as I always do, I'm doing my best. I'm trying. I'm going to go get the harvester now. So as we arrive, the situation is that, you know, actually I don't know if it'll let me, but the situation is this. The soybean, as we've discussed in the previous couple of episodes, I may not get any kind of proper result from, other than the fact that what we'll learn is that because the soybean puts its own nitrogen in the ground, even the strips where I didn't put anything down because I didn't want there to be any nitrogen, it will have produced it anyway. So what we end up with is what we end up with. What I need to do is just get going, I guess. I don't know what they're going to yield. I'm hoping each strip doesn't go more than the capacity of the harvester, otherwise it's going to get really tricky. I don't think it's going to. I don't think we're going to get close. So the first strip was just, and this will be the same because I've got oats over there, we're going to check each of these, was just the crop. But like I say, there will be nitrogen because it puts nitrogen in the ground. So the next one is the crop and lime. So that should be a little bit higher. I think the next one after that is the crop and fertiliser, but the fertiliser didn't go down because it's automatic, isn't it, on precision farming. It didn't actually put any down because of the fact that soybean puts down its own nitrogen. And then the end one again was fertiliser and lime. So I don't think strip 3 and 4 are going to be any different to strip 1 and 2. That said, they could all be exactly the same. I think where we're going to see the differences is going to be with the oats. Again, potentially. First trip, 862. Okay, let's turn that off. Pipe out. I'm genuinely curious because I haven't really done a lot of testing as such. Now obviously there's this situation where the ground is a little bit different. I did try and get all of the strips on one particular soil type, so that shouldn't have too much of an impact on it. That's not to say that it definitely will or won't, but so 862. This should technically be more. Piping. I mean, to be fair, we did harvest this one before. It only required a minimal amount of pH. So how much difference there'll be, again, I don't think it's going to be a lot, but I could find it's exactly the same with the oats as well. But hey, the test is a test. A result is a result. We don't always have to like the result we get. It may not be the result we're expecting, but it is a result and it will tell us something. What that is, I don't know, but if this comes out less, I will be baffled. I mean, truly baffled. I'm sure everyone out there will have an explanation. There'll be a reason why, but it does look like it's going to come out less, doesn't it? How? Come on. We've got to be 862, otherwise, I don't know, I might as well just pack up and go home. No, we're not going to, are we? $861. Seriously? Okay, well. I really hope the oats is different. Right, what I'll do now is I'll cut to the end of finishing each strip. You don't need to see me go up and down each strip here, but we'll do the last 2 soybean, see what we end up with. Actually, you know what we'll do while I'm doing this? We're going to, I will do in a minute, but I want to talk about something else. If you're not watching it, if you haven't seen it, there's a Netflix original series called Dark. Now, my eldest daughter put me onto this. Oh, so I got crop destruction off. I must have. Yeah, this series called Dark. She suggested I watch it. If you watch Stranger Things, it's kind of along those lines a little bit, sort of. It's a German series, and it's dubbed. Now, don't let that put you off, because initially I thought, oh, do I want to watch? I've often watched dubbed things, and I'm like, but within an episode or 2, you just completely zone out to the fact it's dubbed. It is just brilliant. It involves time travel, and it is dark. I mean, it's called Dark for a reason. It's quite sinister, it's quite scary, it's complicated, complex, it's so cleverly done. But I'm in a good way through season 2 now, and it's getting really complicated. but an absolutely phenomenal series. Now, the reason I'm bringing it up as well It's because of the things it makes you think. And this kind of brings me back to what I was talking about teaching. Well, it depends if I've edited that bit out or not. So if I'm talking about teaching now, you might be thinking, well, what is he going on about? He hasn't mentioned teaching. I have mentioned it in the past about teaching. Am I going to get more off this strip? 863! Yay! I'm going to bring over the trailer. In that, being a teacher, this is my own personal opinion. Teachers teach. We all understand that. We get that. I personally believe the greatest gift a teacher can give, the greatest skill, it's all skills and attributes a teacher can bring to the table. It's not just about just teaching. It's not just about imparting knowledge. That is a part of it, of course it is. But for me, it's the ability to inspire. It's the ability to intrigue. It's the ability to get a child or a person or anybody to want to learn more. If that person becomes hooked, if they're invested, and if they decide, you know, I want to find out more, that this is, you know, that's the trick, that's the skill. A good teacher can do that. If a good teacher hooks you in, it's not just about learning, it's about, then it becomes a passion, it's about a thirst for knowledge. That's the thing, is a thirst for knowledge. It's about going further with it. I'll often watch TV programs, documentaries, all sorts of stuff, and it's those programs that you come away thinking, oh, I wonder, is that true, is that real, is that a thing? I want to find out more about that, and I'll go away and I'll do research and I'll look things up, and you know, that thirst for knowledge is there. There are lots of series I watch which you just watch for the entertainment value, something that's a comedy or whatever it might be, or you just sometimes you just want to sit and watch something you can just switch off and just be entertained, you know, action films and stuff like that. I love a good action film, I love a good thriller, I love a good story, but it's the ones that are often based in reality. Now I know this isn't, it's about time travel, but it kind of ignited that spark of I want to know more. I really want to find out more about these theories, and it is theoretical physics at the end of the day. Time travel as a concept has been apparently mathematically proven as feasible under the right circumstances, most of which don't exist at the moment. That one was woefully short. Oh no, that's way out. I've got, what did I have? 861, 86, 862, 861, 863, didn't I? 78. Why is that so low? That had lime and fertiliser, supposedly. I am absolutely baffled by that final result. So that's 787. Wow, that's very low. I'm going to end up talking my way through this, aren't I? I'm just writing down my notes. 861, 863, 787. Wow. Ah, now I wonder. Let's check. Have I switched over onto a different part of soil? Oh no, not yet. Potentially at the top end. Oh yeah, that'll be it. Look, mind you, that's the result. That is an absolute result. The first three strips were on this, on loam. This one is part loam and part sandy loam. So the drop in yields has been because of the soil underneath. That's a result. The rest of them should all be on sandy loam, the oat ones, so I shouldn't see a discrepancy like that, but it's good that when you get a discrepancy you can go on, you can look at the data available, or data, depending on where you're from, and understand why there's a discrepancy. What we'll do now is we'll put the oats into the second trailer. So yeah, anyway, off the back of that. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a series to watch and that kind of thing interests you, I would absolutely recommend, heartily recommend watching it. It is brilliant. I mean, there's I've already been boring my wife to death about this. I'm just fascinated by it. The whole concept has been absolutely amazing, and without getting into the intricacies of the series itself and potentially ruining it for anyone that might want to watch it, there's this. Actually, what I need to do is, I don't want straw swath on. Oh, it doesn't have straw swath, does it? Or is it? Oh, it's on all the time, isn't it? I have to do this every time with the Bizon, don't I? Every single time. Yeah, so without kind of giving too much away, and about the characters and the actual thing itself, I'll just cultivate this in. Yeah. There's a thing I'd never heard of before. When you talk about time travel, you may not have any idea about it. You may not have heard anything about it, but there's a thing called the grandfather paradox. The premise being that going back in time, doing something that can cause your grandfather to die, or you actually went back and killed your grandfather. Why you would want to do that, I don't know. He ceases to exist, therefore you don't then get born. Therefore you then cease to exist. So the paradox is that, you know, it's supposed to be that kind of lesson of if you go back in time and change things, it can have irrevocable. It can cause problems in the future, potentially. Time travel is a complicated thing. If you watch any of the Back to Futures and then people try to explain it on all sorts, there's all different theories involved in it about when you go back and you actually split and start a new timeline. You're not running on the current one. It can get a little bit complicated. But anyway, the bootstrap paradox is that a piece of information, an idea, or an item, a piece of technology or something, is taken back in time and given to somebody. That person then uses that information. 824 is my first bit of data. 824. So I'm doing a lot of talking in these couple of episodes. I just wanted to do a slightly more, like I did on Lucas Island. I want it to be a little bit more kind of relaxed, a bit more how I was used to be. In just I'd come on and chat and, you know, about things. Yeah, so the person then that receives that information uses that information to make something or do something, or, you know, whatever it may be, and that then has it's a cause and effect thing, a causal loop, and that then in the future, because of that result, the person in the future has that information because the person in the past was given it. They then use that information to go back and give them the information. So it becomes a loop of one person went back, gave them the information, they used the information to go forward, that person then uses that information to go back and give it to, it's a weird thing. And the problem with the causal loop is as it goes round and round, there's no discernible point of origin anymore. At what point did it begin? Was it the person in the past that came up with the idea, and as it went forward someone then found it, went back to the future, or was it the person in the future that found it, that took it back, who caused it, who started it? It's an interesting thing. And it's, you may be listening thinking, what in God's name is he rabbiting on about? But it's just like I'm saying about that thing of watching something and thinking, I want to find out more about that. Which then brings me on to something else which I'd never even heard of. Well, I mean, I'd heard of it, but there's laws of physics and whatever, but there's the laws of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics revolves around entropy. And as energy is transferred or transformed, more and more of it is wasted each time. It's entropy, you know. It's the same as the set of metal balls that you pull up one at one end and they click, and I can't remember what they're actually called. Newton's cradle, is it? Newton's cradle? And it's supposed to be, it will continue to go. It doesn't, because over time, and it kind of proves the entropy thing, that the energy given at the start, over time, it will degrade to a point where eventually it will stop. It's not perpetual motion, is the point I'm trying to make. So entropy is that order to disorder, that things degrade, and that's the argument against a bootstrap paradox, is that over time this item or the person that goes backwards and with an item, that it goes through time and goes back again, surely that would degrade over time and then would cease to exist, stopping the causal loop. It's all fascinating stuff. I had no idea. 826. We were 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in it. 826. 824 last time, not a lot of difference in 2 litres more on the one that was limed. But again, the liming I did on this was a minimal amount because I had limed on the previous harvest before it, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I wanted to do some soil testing, I wanted to do some sampling, I wanted to do some, and I'm kind of doing that. It has been suggested by a few different people that I should be doing it using all the different crop types. Really? Now, first one was nothing, just the crop. Second one was the crop and lime. This one is the crop and fertiliser, and it should have worked on this one because this one didn't put its own nitrogen down. So this one we've got 874, the previous was 826. That is a significant increase on one strip. That's 50 litres more on one strip. That's significant. We'll take that as a result. The next one is lime and fertiliser. We should see a slightly higher increase. We went up 2 litres on the previous one. We'll write this down, 874. We are getting better results on this one. And then what we'll do on the last one, I reckon the last one should come out 880, 885. Might come out 876. I might just get an extra 2 litres like I did between the first and second. But this is definitely giving a better result than the soybean. So anyway, yes, I'm chatting again. Lots of chat, lots of, just about things that have been coming up. Just general, I do enjoy a storyline, I do enjoy a narrative, I do enjoy what I'm doing on here on Lucas Island. But I do enjoy, I know people say, about when I do my rants, and they don't mind listening to me rant, they don't mind listening to me chat about, and I don't mind coming on, I just like chatting about everyday stuff, and I kind of felt for a little while, I've kind of moved away from that a little bit. Not a bad thing. But again, I kind of hark back to when I did my tractor driving experience a few years ago now. The farmer Rob, we were just out in the tractor going around, I was driving and then we did some ploughing and we did all this sort of stuff, and we were just talking, just chatting. And he said, generally speaking, if a farmer's in the tractor on his own, he might be watching a video, he might be listening to music, he might be doing whatever he's doing. If he has a passenger with him, you just drive along and you just chat. You just, that's what you do. And I think it's a good way to, not vent is the wrong word, but you know what I mean? I just feel like I'm just chatting to a friend kind of thing, about things that are on my mind. And, the whole time travel thing, I know that got a little bit deep and a little bit weird, but it's just stuff that's been bouncing around my head over the last few days. And, if nothing else comes from it other than watch that series, just honestly watch it. It's brilliant. It may not be your thing, in which case don't watch it. The choice is always yours. I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. Come on, we've got to beat 874. 874 to beat. We're not even going to get it, are we? 873. Okay, well, we definitely saw it. No, when that opened, we definitely saw a change between the 2 strips that had no fertiliser and the 2 strips that did. So that does tell us something. Getting our nitrogen down, getting our nitrogen on makes a difference. So that's my strips done. I do have the rest of this field that has now got soybean in, which will need to be collected. 873, that's so weird, isn't it? Like I say, that's more about the lime situation, that I had only done one harvest since I last limed, so it didn't actually require a huge amount in all honesty, but it's a result. We learnt something from the soybean. They put their own nitrogen down, so all good. We learned that the 3rd strip, because that went across part one soil type, part another, that really did affect the actual yield off that. That was the soil type, not anything we did to it, but just the ground it was in. What I need to do now is cotton. I need to clear my field next to us, field 7, of the cotton. I will then need to cultivate it, possibly, depends. Possibly plough it, and then soil sampling. What I want to get done before the end of this episode is get the cotton off of it. We should make a bit of money on the cotton. I don't know what cotton is going for at the moment, but we should make a bit of money. Obviously I've got to pay to lease the equipment, but I'm hoping that what we make for the cotton will cover the cost of the leasing if nothing else, because I need to get the cotton off of it. I could just, if I wanted to, save myself the hassle, get my cultivator and cultivate in the cotton. But if I've got a crop on there, I might as well get the crop off and use it. What I will be annoyed about is if I pay out for the equipment to lease it and don't make as much money back. I'm not in the business of losing money. Although I'm quite pleased we've got 2 new trailers today as well, because that does mean that we're increasing our equipment and what we actually own. What I will do is pay a little bit more off what I owe. We should pay a little bit off. We're at 220 grand, which is absolutely brilliant. I might pay another 20 grand off. We'll see what the actual cotton equipment costs to lease. It's being shipped in from another part of the country. There's no one locally who has it, but it should be here fairly soon. As soon as it arrives, I'll see you in field 7, and let's get that cotton done. Well, I'm not going to lie, this has been interesting. I've got a John Deere 9996, and this is an older type harvester in that it's just a harvester. This is not a harvester and baler. The baler comes separately. The company, that are supplying us with the rest of the gear have delivered the baler. It's baler EB11, which I'm going to go with this. Let's go this way because I don't go over so much rutted stuff. So this collects the cotton. We then put that into a transport container, or this could go directly to the baler if it wanted to, but we're not going to. So we've got a base or a bass, I'm not quite sure, which has been delivered as well. Now what is interesting with that is that the guys that delivered the baler unit, are not very happy, because they had to at one point go off the road and into a ditch because of power lines. They got stuck on the power lines, and I don't think they caused any damage. I hope they didn't cause any damage, because the baler, we just jump out and have a quick look. That's the bass / base. That apparently is only an 8,000 litre. Anyway, this thing here is the baling unit. So this bit at the top there, which is what the whole the press section goes up and down on, was too high. So at one point when they got to a bit where there was power lines, they had to go off the road and into a ditch and back up the other side because that hit on it. We've got a trailer as well. Where's that? Behind the bushes. That's been put here. So we've got everything we need to get going. So this is going to be a little bit different. I suppose it's no different to the old when you were doing combine harvesting. A combine harvester combines all the harvesting bits together, whereas everything would be done. You would get all the crop, then it would be threshed, then it would be put wherever it was going to be put, baled up, or whatever was going to be happening with it. And then a combine harvester combined all of those elements together. The newer cotton harvesters do the harvesting and the baling and the compacting and all in one, whereas this is all done separately. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to crack on. If you're still with me after the rant, after the theoretical physics, thank you for still being here. I appreciate it greatly. Let's unfold. Let's turn it on. Let's drop it down. Does it need to be dropped down? Something needs to happen. Why is that not? Hang on. What am I missing? Lower harvester. Oh, there we go. Like I say, I have no idea what we're going to get off this field. I think the baler holds 32,000 litres. I'm pretty sure it's 32,000 litres. So this will literally just, the cotton will go in, it will pile up, and then we can either unload directly into the baler from this, but I think what we'll do is we'll bring the actual, the little transport trailer out to the field. I suppose what we could do as well, it means at that point, if we can get one of the locals to run this, I can run backwards and forwards. I say backwards and forwards, it's going to take a while to fill this, but and then once this field's cleared, actually that's what we need to do as well, is check to see, I'm assuming it's going to need to be ploughed. Short stuff to cotton and corn, isn't it? Ploughing is required. Yep. Then we'll do our soil sampling, and then we'll work out. Oh yes, we need to do a prototype soil sampling. That's what I was talking about before, wasn't I? But that obviously, at the end of today's episode, that won't be for another week. So apologies to those people that already are annoyed because I'm taking too long to do each episode. It's going to be a week between this and the next one. So we're getting there. What we got off that? 1,000, and we haven't done a full strip really yet. So back on again. It's going to take a little while. But as I always say, when we get stuff come out, it's nice to do something differently. I know, you know, the speed demons out there, and I get it. I've done it myself. Speeding up a process is how you maximise your profit. Of course it is. The faster you can do something over a large area quicker, maximises your profit. Less time in the field, all that kind of thing. I totally understand that. But what I do like is when stuff comes out that is different. And yeah, we have got cotton harvesters, but this is a different setup, and it's a different process involved in that, and I like that. I think that's brilliant. I'm gonna controversial. I don't know. Maybe in that, I think DJ, one of his mod reviews he put up the other day. It's difficult because they are new mods. Any mods that are coming out are new mods. Are they new ideas and new concepts? No, not all of them. So that's where. Sorry, I know I shouldn't be cutting across here. I should be sticking to the rows, but. And that's where the tricky thing comes in with it, because doing mod reviews, it's not, I suppose it's the difference between new mods and different mods, I think, is the thing, isn't it? Because anything that's coming out is new. If it's not new, it's an update. Sometimes we get reskins of things which technically aren't new mods, but they are to that modder. That modder's taken the time to reskin stuff or give us new colour options and tyre options and those kind of things. Technically it's a new mod to them, so it's technically a new mod to us. So I guess it's semantics, isn't it? It comes down to, is it a different mod or a new mod? And at the moment we're getting a lot of new mods. We haven't had that many different mods for a while. I do get a bit overexcited every now and again when something comes out that is a different process or a different type of machinery, or because I like that. I think that's absolutely fantastic. I thought this was an 8,000 litre. We're at nearly 3,000 now, and it's about 3/4 full. Can I imagine that? I'm pretty sure this doesn't compress. This doesn't have or maybe it will just keep going until it gets to 8,000 litres. Yeah, so it's a bit of a weird one at the moment with regard to mods. I know a lot of people have been saying that it's kind of, so it's drying up. I mean, I thought it was the other day. I watched DJ, and I don't often, so with the mod reviews, I don't do farm sim news, which a lot of the guys do farm sim news. I don't do news. And they're all constantly going in and out of modders' websites and channels, and they're scouring the internet to find all the information. I don't. I'm a kind of layman's mod reviewer. I'm an everyman kind of, you know. So it's layman's terms. I will approach the mods as everyone else does. I won't scour around looking for what's coming up. I do often have people say to me, well, surely if you're going to do a mod review properly, you should be getting all the relevant information from the modders' websites. What you have to remember is on a day where you get, yeah, that's 98% full, this is going to be 4,000 litres, not 8,000. That's weird. Hang on, let me check something, because that can't be right. Oh, hang on. Am I thinking of the trailer's 8,000 litres? Oh, yeah, that's 8,000. So the harvest is only 4. Wow, that's going to be a lot of to-ants and fro-ants. Yeah, so my argument to that is that's all well and good. Right, pipe out. Does that. See that? I love it. It's different, isn't it? It's so different. I know I did a mod review on this a while ago, but let me turn the engine off. I need to go and get me me doodad. I've got me doodad, the bass/bass. Yeah, so you know, if you have a day where you get 20 mods come out, and we've had some days like that, or 12 mods, or adding to the time it takes to prepare the mods, to prepare them on a map, to get everything ready, to get all the megabyte download information, to get the slot count information, to get it all prepped and ready for doing the mod review. To add into that, going on to each of those individual modders' websites to find out any other relevant information, it can get a little bit much. I think I've come the wrong way, haven't I? I should have been, hang on, lower side round, you buffoon. New piece of equipment, see, I don't know how to use it. Don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, Gov. Yeah, so it's a bit of a weird one. But anyway, what I was trying to say was, when DJ was talking about it, he'd gone on and onto the forum, which tells you what mods are in testing, that kind of thing. And he said that there were 25 PC mods, but only one PS4 mod in testing. And that the turnaround for new mods being submitted was 1 day, which is the lowest it's been in as long as I can remember. It's been absolutely ages. That's cool. So I'm kind of chatting over the process. That's pretty cool. What we'll do now is we'll get a worker going. I'll take this over and we'll unload into the baler. I just jumped back into the same thing. I didn't know. Let's come on that side. Oh, there we go. Pipe in. But weirdly, the following day, because I then immediately thought, oh, that's going to be a bit of a nightmare, because then doing a mod review of one mod's going to be a bit awkward, isn't it? And then the following day, we had like 12 mods come out. I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit weird. So I wasn't too sure what was happening there, or went a little bit bizarre. So, and again, you know, it's difficult when they do appear to be a little bit samey. I understand why people are getting frustrated and, oh, come on. I really do. Okay, this is really weird. Why did I miss that? There we go. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's just the way it is, and the thing you have to keep telling yourself, and I suppose it's the kind of school teachery kind of aspect of my life, is that much as people are annoyed and say we don't need any more 3-metre cultivators, we don't need any more of this or any more of that, or we don't need another one of these, or for the person that spent the time modding that piece of machinery, if it is the first time they've done a mod and they've decided, you know what, I'm going to pick something fairly straightforward that I can tackle for my first mod, or it might just be they're particularly passionate about 3-metre cultivators. I don't know. I'm not mocking. I'm being genuinely serious. It's that kind of, who are we to criticise that? They've taken the time to do it, and my way of looking at it is if they've taken the time to do it, they've taken the time to make it, they've taken the time to convert it over to console, which is no mean feat as far as I'm aware from talking to different modders. To then slam that and say we don't need any more of these. Now I've been as guilty of it as anybody else. You know, there've been days when I thought, oh, really, if I was going to mod something, and I'm not a modder, but if I was going to mod something, I would be looking for something I'm passionate about. I would also be looking at the mod hub and thinking, right, okay, what have we got already? What have we got loads of? What haven't we got? You know, what could I mod that would bring something different? That's just my own personal opinion. That's just the way my mind works. But I can kind of understand and see. Under the sea. Yeah, I can see where people are coming from. I have to try and look at it objectively from all angles. And so, chatting about everything today, bit of everything. Never, well, no, I'm not going to say it, never a dull moment. Potentially. Depends what you're actually here for. So, that's filling up really quickly. I'm going to go and get that. Let's unload that. And what I will then do is I'll see you in a little while, because you will have seen each part of the process when we've got a full baler, or when we've cleared the field, whichever comes first. I think we're only doing 4,000 litres at a time. Oh, I left the engine running. Whoops. I mean, I could do another load in this, then do 8,000 litres in one go, but I might as well just do it. So like I say, we can have a look at the process. So this one I need to come in from the side I was originally to the baler. That's right, isn't it? We're about to find out. Now, is that going to turn the wrong way as well? Probably. So I need to come alongside like that, as close as I can get. Is that about right? There? L1 and X. No, pipe out, isn't it? There we go. Please work. There we go, and it's going into the bottom. I know there's grass in there, but don't worry, it will compact over that. So that will gradually fill up, and then when we've got as much as we need to put in there, we will then compress it, which will make the bale. We then push the bale out the back, which will give birth to a bale of cotton, and then we should be able to load it onto a trailer. I don't think we're going to get more than one. At 32,000 litres, I can't see it myself. Right, that's got stuck because there's a lorry there. What I need to do is another headland, I think. So I say this I can if I want to. I could run alongside, which side is it open? That side. I shall show you while we're here. I know I haven't got a full thing, but if I just do that, and then I could tip directly from the harvester if I want to. So it doesn't have to be into the trailer, you can forego the trailer. But to be fair, the most expensive thing to lease was this. This was about 12 grand, which is still cheaper than any other harvesters. And I think with all the other bits of equipment all in, it was just over 13,000. Each of these was only about 200-300 each to lease. I know that's for the first hour, and then there's leasing fees over and above that, but not too expensive a prospect. Yeah, it's a bit of extra work, but not a problem. Turn it again, it's left a bit. See you when you're older. We're done at 10 to 5, just before 10 to 5. The harvester is back on the low loader. I've got 32,000 litres in there, so a full bale. I've got 5,000 litres in here. Now, I probably already know the question, or the answer to this question, but the fact this will hold loose cotton at the spinnery, I'm pretty sure the spinnery will only take bales, whether it be wool or whether it be cotton. I'm curious as to whether if I drove that up there, whether that would take the loose cotton. I don't think it will, but it might be worth a try. So what we've got to do now, well, we don't have to compact this, it will unload as it is. We've got a bale in there. What we'll do is we'll hook up. So with the press lifted, if I just put that on, what we can do now is turn on the baler. What that will do is go along and it will squash the... You don't have to do that. That just compacts the bale. It's an aesthetic thing as far as I can tell. I think after a certain amount of time it goes back to the other end. I'm pretty sure I don't have to do anything to get it to do that. Might just take a bit of time. There we go. I think when it gets to the other end you need to turn the baler off, I think. Otherwise it goes through the process again, I think. Stop it. Now. That's weird. Why is that not giving me the option to unload the bale? Ooh. That's peculiar. I'll fold it. What? Oh no! What do I do now? Unless I can open that back door. That's odd. I mean, there is a way I can get around it, but it's not really the way I wanted to go about doing it. I wonder why it's done that. Well, what we'll do, because I've been needing to do that, I'm going to take the loose up there, because if I need to do what I think I'm going to have to do, it will put the baler right back up there. I'm going to drive up to the spinnery. Like I say, I don't think this is going to work. I'm hoping if I then put 5,000 litres, it will then let me unload a partial bale, like you can do with the regular balers. Well, fingers crossed on that. I just don't know. That's so weird. I wonder why that happened. Okay, well, see you up there in just a minute. Turn that off. Enjoy the scenery, I guess. Well, I will. For you, it'll be almost like a... Oh, there you go. See, that saves a lot of time, doesn't it, doing it that way? The old Zach Johnson method works really well. So we're just up here, I think, is the cotton. Like I say, I can't imagine for 1 second. Is this going to go under there? Oh, that was close. It's got to be a bale, hasn't it? Because I'm worried if I try and tip it, it's going to go over the floor, and then will it, or will it not even tip? All I can do is try, I guess, can't I? Watch the money just in case. I don't think it will. Nope. No. Okay, well, I'm going to need to compress another bale then, potentially. Okay, bear with me a minute. Let's get that bale sorted out of that container. While we're trying to sort out what to do with the rest of it, let's get our bale sorted. 32,000 litres. It's a monster bale. Should just be unload and then cha-ching. What's it gonna be? I need to cover 20 grand. I went over an hour with the cotton harvester. 74,782. Yeah, I think we were about 19. It was about 13, then about 5 something, so 18 something, 19. So we made 74. So that's a profit, and that's on top of buying the field, and then whatever we're going to do with it next. That's great. Give me a little bit longer. I'll see if I can do a small bale. That says 5,000 litres. I'm not going to make a lot of money on 5,000 litres, but it's all extra money in the bank, isn't it? Actually, what I haven't checked is sand. No, price is still pretty low. It's coming up a bit, but not great. Did I say while I was doing the cotton harvest, I've harvested all the soybean on field 6. So I've got that little bit of oats, and I've got the soybean that needs to be delivered. And the price for soybean has just been a great demand at the grain elevator. When I say great demand, it's 1,300 and something, but it's a little bit more than the other sell points are doing it for. No, the grain elevator, which one's that? That's the one over there, isn't it? So I'll get rid of the soybean as well in a little while. So yeah, I'll probably be another 5-10 minutes, and we'll sort out this last bit, and then that'll be it for the episode, I think, because we've done everything I set out to do. I'm just thinking time-wise, I may have to edit out some of my whittering. People in the road. The 5,000 litres was not meant to be. I think you have to be over a certain amount to unload a partial bale on the regular balers anyway. If there was only 5,000 litres out of 32,000 I put it in, it never gave me the option to unload it, so, but it doesn't matter. We've turned a profit anyway. We've done all right out of that car, and what I'm going to do now is head down and grab the trailers with the soybean, go and get rid of those, but that field 7 is now clear of the crop, so we can get in there, we can get that ploughed. I now need to cultivate field 6 as well, because we've now got the soybean and the test plots done off of that. So that's it for a week. I will see you when I get back. I hope you're enjoying this series. I hope you're still enjoying this series. If you are, if you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.